Uh, Abstract brainwaves, game genie in the beanie. We ain't on the same stage, leveled up. The epitome of technique, can't survive in my current thought.
Other yellow hat guy here, back with another video, and it's been a while. Last video I said, hey, there's too many events. And while there was a lot going on, and that's a lot to be thankful for, I felt foolish trying to be enthusiastic about some of this stuff, some of these things, and not really be hype about it, you know? So much so that I was like, I can't even fool them with an April Fool's video. So that video was scrapped. But that didn't stop Niantic from doing anything. Now, while in a previous year they had sprites that represented the Game Boy games, this go around they didn't do anything close to that in terms of coolness. What they did was they gave you a bunch of Croagunk that were secretly Dittos. But before we get into that, what they first put up in here was Rayquaza. Rayquaza came back for a weekend, and while I didn't like that it was behind a paywall for those of you needing the dragon types, it helped you get that out of the way because you just don't see dragon types like that. You feel me? They're just not out there. Excuse me. And I'd rather pay for a Rayquaza with a chance of a shiny and a 5-star raid with 1.5 times XP than something like a Bagon or something that might appear in a 1 or 2-star raid. So, you know, and then you get people to help you. You get the, you know, there's extra perks, you know, if you hadn't opened a gift from them that day, that helps you out there. Lucky egg, all that stuff is just better if you had a Rayquaza. So while I had about maybe 10 of those dragon types off of, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, the all-in-one. So I think step 2, you needed to get like 30 of every type, and the last 2 that I needed were dragon and ice. So I got Rayquaza out of the way, and I did get a shiny Rayquaza out of that. Now, Tornadus was here, and this was the Therian form. It was boosted by the wind, but it's not a dragon type. Although it looks like it could be, you know, and I don't know. It could pass for one, you know, dinosaurs, birds, kind of similar, right? But no, this one wasn't it. There's the counters here in this picture. Take a look at those when you can, if you can. So going from Tornadus, and I've got footage of me finally catching one. They brought back some of them that were in the megas, and what I mean by that is they've gotten so many of them now that they're like rotating them out. So like every so often you've got like a Bomb of Snow. So if you needed ice type, there you go. But good luck trying to get people who already have that evolution, the mega evolution that is, to help you, because nobody helped me. But you had that one, and then after a while, I think Gengar came back. So, you know, you got a rotation there. So here it is right here, the tricky Pokemon. So this was from April 1st, 12 a.m. to April 8th. Giovanni came back, and you had a chance to get shiny Zapdos. So, you know, defeat some grunts. Yay! No. But hey, cruel April Fools, more of those idiots. Defeat a Team Go Rocket leader 1 time. So you did the 6, you get the 1 radar. That 1 radar turns to the super radar, I think. I think there was actually a box that just gave you a super radar. So, you know, right out the gate, you didn't have to do too much. You went straight to Giovanni and got it out of the way. Still annoys me that what they did was they reduced the amount of possible Giovannis, and there was a lot of those decoy grunts. I mean, right when I would get to record, it's like, oh, by the way, it's a decoy. It's a decoy. Now, what I forgot to mention was, in addition to the ice and dragon, I also needed dark. And maybe my prayer was heard, but Purloin was out, and in abundance. And I was like, look, we got to drop everything. I just need to ride around downtown and get as many of those as I could, and I got the dark types out of the way. What really irritates me, though, is with the ice type, well, I'm not in a cold region, even though it feels like it could be. You know, you're down south, and you're like, oh, spring should be a hybrid of summer, right? It's like 60, 65, 40. 60, 65, 30. It's like, make up your mind. But I digress. I had to use an ice lure, like many of you. And the smart thing to do would be to get with a group of friends and y'all just take turns using ice lures, just to save on, the cost. 200 coins for a glacier lure. All right, buy 2 of them. Why? I was averaging like 3 to 4 ice types per glacier lure. It was pathetic. Sure, some snowbirds showed up, and occasionally I got a snowbird, but most of the time I'm seeing Priplups, which is just a water type. You think penguin, you think ice. Hey, ice. No, it was very annoying. It really irritated me. Shame on you, Niantic, for that. That was pathetic. All right, so we moved from that to the all-in-one step 3 out of 4. The first step was to become level 40. So if you guys aren't level 40 and you paid for this research, you need to go ahead and become level 40. Otherwise, it's going to take you a while, and it's just going to be even further back that you're doing this. Again, the ice type thing irritates me, but what irritates me even more is we paid them money pretty much to get Shiny Mew, and yet they want you to do all this extra stuff just to get it. Just very frustrating. So, roll with the punches. I mean, I didn't have to pay for it, but how else was I going to get the Shiny Mew? You know what I'm saying? So, spent 151 Pokestops. A couple of videos back, or a few videos back, I can't remember at this point, I told you guys that you had to spin individual unique stops, meaning if you had to go all the way downtown to get a different one you hadn't spun, that's what you were going to have to do. Lo and behold, that was not true. You just had to get different ones. And you could come back to them, but they had to be different. You know what I mean? So, that was the good news there. Moving on from that, they show you got to walk 151 kilometers. Now, that's going to be the difficult one for some of you because you don't really walk like that. I mean, they expect you to do anywhere between 5, 25, and 50 kilometers a week. 50 kilometers a week is a lot. For me, anyway. Some of you do that routinely, but that's still 3 weeks there, so they're really looking at you doing this 3 weeks out. I mean, 1,510 Pokemon won't be too hard, but that's still you averaging 200 Pokemon or so a day. 200 times what? Like 5 is, 1,000 there. And then you add another, so you're looking at least a week's worth of Pokemon there if you were averaging 200 a day. But the big one, other than the walking, is the 151 field researches. That ain't happening anytime soon. So that's where we're at there. I think they give you a star piece. It looks like some Pokemon appears, which is clearly Mew, Shiny Mew. Yeah, I almost said Mewtwo, Shiny Mew. And then a Lucky Egg, like you need it after all of that. It's like, no, Lucky Egg should have been one of these awards. Because what I don't need is the radars. I don't need those. That they could have swapped that. The 151 kilometers, it's like, hey, how about the 151 stops gives me the Pokeballs? How about that gives me the Pokeballs? So then I could use that for the Pokemon. Catch the Pokemon gives you one of these other crappier things. But I like how they give you a star piece as a reward when you... Like, they could have chained this better to help you, but it's not in their best interest, right? Like, if they gave you a star piece for being level 40, you could save the star piece for when you claim the rewards and get 8,000 or something like that. I don't know. That's just a thought, Niantic. So, here's my encounter with Giovanni. I finally got him after several failed attempts, and they were all decoys. You will never defeat me, blah, 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 or something like that. I just stuck with the same team. Machamp counters as Persian. I think he had a Kangaskhan out there, which, my Machamp also took out. And then, You know, the last Pokemon being the Zapdos. We just KO'd it with the last couple Pokemon, you know, Latios and my boy Kyogre there took him out. So I guess I'll just speak to that. Nothing else really to say other than Mega Houndoom is back out. We already covered Tornadus. And the last little bit here while that footage plays, Chansey's back. And I haven't seen so many Chansey in the wild since maybe like a Valentine's Day. But the catch with this one is it's got the little flower crown. So what I liked was, although Pikachu came back with the same flowers, there were still more Chansey that I saw than the Pikachu, thankfully. Chanseys, they weren't great IVs that I encountered. I think one of them was, and I think I'll move that one up to, you know, I'll evolve that one to the Blissey with the flowers. But they weren't anything worth noting. They did have this here, this Spring into 2021 collection, which was kind of neat. You needed a Shadow Execute, but everything else you had to find in the wild. The Asmorel you need to get in a raid. I think there was a research for that too. But that ended fairly quickly, and they gave you some Mega Energy and a Lucky Egg, which, you know, I'm appreciative of that. You didn't have to pay for any of that. You just maybe need to save your free pass for the Asmorel. One of the cool things was they upped the friend count. You see here I'm at 216. The problem before was they upped the friend count to combine people from Ingress and Harry Potter, if you play those, along with your Pokemon Go. That's probably how it looks if you're in the other games. They've added your friends into that too to enhance their Niantic social, right? And what that's going to entail is they want to get everybody to play all of their games, not just Pokemon Go. They want you to play all their other games because basically it's free advertising. It's like, if you like Pokemon Go, maybe you like Harry Potter. If you like Harry Potter, maybe you like Pokemon Go. Maybe if you like both of those or one of those, you'll also like Ingress. That's what they're going for. The problem is, eventually you run out of space for friends, and then it's like choosing children. Who do I want as a friend? They've upped that, and at first it had it to where all those other players showed up, but if you deleted one of them, it still didn't give you extra room to add somebody else. They fixed that since, so now at 216, you can actually go to 400. Yes, 400 friends. So if you're watching and you play regularly, I want to be friends with you. I know that comes off offensive to some, to know that when I say I want to be friends with you, if you play often, it's because some of you play for like a couple of weeks, maybe even a month, and then you disappear. And then you get mad that I remove you as a friend. Sorry, not sorry. Where I'm at right now is my subscribers, the people that help me keep the lights on. That's who I'm reserving those spots for. There's people that I play with regularly too that, you know, they've earned their stripes, but it's just, again, I've said this before, nothing personal. It's just where I'm at right now. I've got it to where I need more XP. And a cool way to do that is to become best friends with everybody when you can. But at a 200 friend limit, they figure, hey, you might be running out. Now with another 200 friends, that opens up the doorway. What they still need to do, and I keep saying this, Niantic, you gotta work on it. You gotta do it. This has to happen. Make it so that I can invite people to raids that I'm not friends with. Let me just have a QR code or something, post that in a chat, and the 5 people who scan it, that's who's in. That's who's in. They don't have to be my friend. I just take a picture of the gym or something, or get a QR code of it. Boom. Remote raids there. We're all in there after somebody announces a start time or something. You know, it could be a link or something, or just, you know, a random generated number, and you know, get a screenshot of that. You tell people who that is. It can't be any more complicated than doing the private chats, right? The private raid lobbies, right? It's Squirtle, Pikachu. Okay, boom. I put that in there. The 5 people who put that in, you know, and yeah, that might be different for everybody doing something. So you couldn't use just regular Pokemon. You could do some kind of numerical thing where it's just randomly generated for that specific raid location, right? That's something you guys can do. So moving on from that, because I talk about that all the time. We had a new Mega Lopunny, which looks like she's got dreadlocks or cornrows or something. I don't know. A nice new Mega, something different. They brought back Rufflet. The last little bit that I'm going to show you is they brought Frillish in here. Frillish, the blue one. I think Frillish is Ghost and Water. So I like Frillish. You could only get this particular one if you did PvP. The pink one they showed out in the wild for a little bit, but this one you had to do PvP, and I guess they were like, oh, you know, people, you know, if you want to do PvP, you get it first, but eventually we'll put it out here. And that was a great one. That was a really good one. Both HP and defense were maxed out, and just a little bit, HP and attack, and just a little bit left on defense that I needed for that one. So, but I got lucky. Shiny Spinda. Yes, I couldn't believe it either. I was going to delete the task, and I'll show the footage here. I was going to delete that task, and I said, no, let me just hold on. I honestly forgot it was Spinda. I forgot. I was just like, it's some random Pokemon that's probably good, but in the long run, I need 151 tasks. I'm just going to do a couple extra here and there that are easy to get out the way, because, you know, there's no guarantee that I'm going to spin a stop and get some Pokemon every day. Sometimes I want to do other stuff that's not Pokemon Go related. Shocking, I know. So I'm like, hey, I gotta get the low-hanging fruit to make sure that every day I get something. And not only that, the Spinda was 3 stars. I don't think I showed that on screen. Spinda, you can't see it there, was 3 stars, y'all. 3 stars. So I know the glare is messing it up and everything, and I don't have the proper lighting. But that is everything. There has been a Mega update showing more Megas that are coming. But we're gonna save something for next video, all right? We do have, who is that? Sneevy, Shiny is coming, Community Day this weekend. So hopefully you see that and this video's out. Health-wise, I'm doing better. Thank you for asking. Maybe if you didn't know, now you know. We got a Mario Maker that should be up before this goes up, so please check that out. I think that's everything. Again, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Search for Captain Sensation. You'll see me up there, OYHG, other yellow hat guy. Love you guys. I am going to end this video here. See you in the next one. Oh, and if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Captain Sensation!